Hi everyone, hope you all are doing well. Today we are doing something a bit different. We are going to talk about me. I posted a question a couple of days ago asking which video you want to see next between the Q&A or responding to me in comments, and the majority of the votes go to Q&A, so here we are. It is quite a gloomy day today. It's been raining since the morning, so I think it's the best day to be filming this kind of video, really. Just me, the camera, and I feel like I'm just talking to you, just answering your questions. So without further ado, I am just going to read them and answering them. So the first question came from Sarge084. Hi, how are you? Where in the UK have you visited besides the places you've lived, Gloucester and London? To be frank, not that many places as I would like. I have visited Edinburgh for a salsa congress. I recently went to the Cotswold, which I made a video, so you guys probably already know. I've been to Portsmouth, Brighton and Cornwall, of course. I feel like everyone has been to Cornwall. It's such a beautiful place. And I think that is pretty much it. Oh, and Southend-on-Sea, if that counts. So yeah, those are the places that I've visited. Actually, in Wales, I've been to Chepstow, I've been to Cardiff, obviously. So yes, I haven't been to Northern Ireland, and that is one of the places that I would like to visit. Second question from Sarge as well. Have you eaten at a Thai restaurant in the UK, and what did you think of the authenticity of the food? I have many times, and it depends on the place. There are certain places that I find more authentic than others. The places that I really liked is Khao San. I don't think they have any branches outside of London, but you know, if any of you who live outside of London and you get an opportunity to come to London, then stop at Khao San. I find their food quite authentic. I think they brand themselves as authentic Thai street food, which is quite accurate. So you get these, you know, like quick one dish meal, and yeah, it's really good. And they're also a place where you can bring your own booze, which is probably a bonus, really. Another place which I find really good, or depends on what you're having, is Rosa's. And I think Rosa's probably have more branches than Khao San. So with Rosa's, I really like their fried rice, and they have this dish which is stir-fried aubergines, and that is vegetarian dish. But a lot of places, as you would think, they aren't that authentic. I remember I went to Cornwall a year ago now, or 2 years ago, and I ordered Thai food there and it wasn't good. And I think it's because obviously restaurants need to cater for the palate of local people as well. So some people might not like their dishes being too spicy, I suppose, and some may be more familiar with Chinese food. So next questions are from Neil, and he also asked 2 questions. Hi Neil. So as you've lived in the UK for so long, what's the biggest misconceptions that you've faced with living here? I would assume that you're asking about misconceptions towards me as a person, or you know, me as a Thai living in the UK. So I think the biggest misconceptions is that I feel like people, a lot of people tend to think, and this is what I hear all the time, that people think that it is quite easy for foreigners to come here in the UK and live here in the UK. Well, first of all, easy, and second of all, a lot of people tend to think that as a foreigner married to a British person, we get access into all the rights and all the benefits and everything that a British person might get, and that is just completely false. In terms of difficulties of coming here, I think I still need to make a video on that, in terms of what I had to go through, you know, the emotional sides of things, the financial side of things. Things weren't easy. I was still not. Basically on my BRP card it says no recourse of public funds, so in case that if I lose jobs, I don't think I can claim job seekers allowance. I don't think I can claim child credits. Second question from Neil is that if you were stranded on deserted island and you can only take 3 items with you, what would you take and why? First of all, I would definitely take my phone. As sad as it sounds, I feel like if you're going to be on deserted island for a long time, the phone will help you stay connected with the people that you love and probably give you word of encouragement when you feel like you're just so down and lonely. And also, you know, if I have my phone, I can still film videos and then edit videos and share it with you guys. So there you go. Second item would be probably my dog. Would you class him as an item? I don't know, but I would need to bring him because he might be able to protect me on the island if there are threats. Although I doubt it, because if you bring food, he will not be protecting me anymore. But yeah, I feel like I need to bring him, and because I also love him very much. And the third item would probably be some sort of tool that will help me find food, like a fishing net, probably fishing net, or a knife, so that I can go hunting. If you could change something about yourself, what would it be and why? Physically, it would be, I don't know. Physically, there are actually many things that I would like to change if I could. The main thing that I would like to change, and I had always wanted to change, is my height, because I feel like growing up in Asia, looks is very important, and people normally expect their children to be better than them in many ways, either education, looks wise, or money they earn. So my mom is about 5'4" and I'm about 5'2", and I always think, you know, it's just that tiny bit of height. I just wanted to be a bit taller than my mom. And also when I was younger, I just wanted to be a flight attendant, and being this short, I just could not ever be qualified for it because I couldn't reach the cabin at the top. If you could travel to the past, what advice would future Poppy yell at past Poppy? A fair few. I would tell my past self to stop thinking too much, and that sometimes you need to take a leap of faith. I always, before I do anything at all, or before I even decide to do anything, I always think of what the end result would be, and I would try my best to like analyze and, you know, predict what the end result will be. And if the end result is not ideally what I want it to be, then I would not pursue it. And I think that's just not how life works. You know, sometimes things get thrown at you, good things sometimes, a lot of times are good things, and, you know, bad things. Or it could be that you learn something along the journey. It doesn't mean that the path that you are taking is completely wasted. So I feel like there are many paths that I didn't take just because I thought I would not like the end result. Take this YouTube channel, for example. I thought about having a YouTube channel in a while, but I always think it's just too late in the game, and like, what is it going to give me to even make like monetary return is going to take me years and years and years. So I had decided to push it back just because what I had imagined the end result would be is not worth it. However, it's been 1 year. 1 year I've had this channel, so thank you so much for sticking with me. And although, yes, I was right that there is not much monetary return, but I've learned so much. I've learned editing skills, I've learned how to speak on the camera, and those is just not completely wasted. So I just wish I understood sooner that sometimes, you know, just go with the flow, just go with it and see what happens. So next question is from Setmens23. I hope I haven't pronounced that incorrectly. Where and how did you meet your partner? The short answer is we met in Thailand. But it's quite confusing. So basically I went to university in Thailand, an international university, and so did Glenn, but we went to different universities. And to be completely honest with you, because I'm always try to be an open book, we both of us don't remember exactly how it first started or how we first knew each other, because what I remember was that he went on a date with a girl from my university, and somehow things didn't work out. And I actually don't know or remember how now that we kind of got in touch, we got to know each other. But yeah, it just happened and we went on a date. But you know, uni years, we both were just so young. After 6 months of dating, although things were good, we graduated from university, and this is not going to come as a surprise to you. I always wanted to experience different culture, living abroad. So I had an auntie who lived in Florida at the time. So I said to Glenn, you know, I really wanted to go to Florida and see if there would be any job opportunities for me. At the same time, Glenn also got an offer from a hotel in China for his management internship program. So we both decided to end the relationship to pursue things that we wanted to do at the time. And 5 years after, I believe 5 or 6 years, it all started with one text, how are you doing? And one text just turned to weeks and months of conversation, and the rest is basically history. What are the railways in Thailand like comparing to the railway in the UK? Who has better railway, Thailand or the UK? Well, this is interesting, good question. So believe it or not, the railway system in Thailand was heavily influenced from the British railway system, and I think that happened back in mid 19th centuries or even early 19th centuries. And to be honest, how it is now, I don't think it has changed much ever since. Yeah, the railway system in the UK is much more superior, especially in terms of cross-regional railways. You know, the timetables are much more predictable. The trains are a lot more modernized, for example. However, what I would say though is that one of the cool things about the train system in Thailand is that we do have a sleeping train. I don't think you have it here, where seats can be converted into beds if you travel really long distance, for example, from central Thailand, from Bangkok to north of Thailand, like Chiang Mai, Lampang. You can have like, you know, trains that you can convert seats into beds, and you have bottom beds and then top beds, so that's pretty cool. Where do you prefer to live? The US, UK or Thailand? Where do you feel most comfortable and happy? Very good question. You see, this is going to sound weird, but I hope some of you who've lived abroad can relate. Living in Thailand, there are moments and times that I didn't really feel fit in because of, you know, things that a lot of people believe in, and I just clearly don't. For example, I never really believed in dowry, and that's just one example. And living in the US, I really had a good time, and I lived with like one of the best people that you could ever meet in West Virginia. They are amazing. But again, living in West Virginia, I was studying, so I didn't really have a proper job. I couldn't get a proper job. So I think if you ask me now where I'm the most happiest, is probably here in the UK, because, you know, since the first day until where I am now, I am a completely different person. The UK had changed me in so many ways. Like, I've grown so much as a person. My career has really progressed. So I feel like a lot of good things happened to me since I've been living in the UK. And these are the questions that were submitted through Google form. I also collected some questions that were asked in the comment section. This one is from Annabella. How do you improve your accent? I am wondering, did you able to speak this way before moving to London? And the answer is no. So I did not speak like this before moving to London. I don't know what kind of accent I had. I think it was more American sort of accent. And even now, I don't think my accent is British neither. So I've always feel like I have my own sort of accent. But I think the way I pronounce certain words now comparing to before is more of a British way of pronunciation rather than American pronunciation. Are you a musician? So this question was asked a long time ago, and whoever asked this, I know this person knows Thai, because basically Dontri means music. So I think, yeah, so I'm not a musician, but my father is. He is a musician, and he has been for the majority of his life. If you want to try to listen to some Thai music, I'll leave the link to his YouTube channel below with all the songs that he's written and produced. So yeah, I'm not a musician by any means. I cannot sing, I cannot play any instruments, although my poor dad, he did try, but I did not pick up on anything. Yeah, and I think that's it. Thank you so much guys for sending all the questions, and I hope this kind of give you an idea, more of an idea of who you're watching. You know, I think it's quite nice to get a bit personal from time to time, because then you kind of know me as a person and not just like some head like talking on the telly. Most of all, I don't say this enough, I don't think, like thank you for supporting me throughout this journey. I mean, it's been a year, like I can't believe it that I'm still like here and like talking to you guys, and you know, you guys are here supporting me, listening to me, so thank you so much. Anyway, this is it from me this week. I hope you have a great week guys, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye bye.